Here it is, guys. So, this movie review is just my way of thanking every single one of my subscribers. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. So, here is my in depth and incredibly passionate movie review for Mission Impossible Fallout. Now, this movie came out in 2018. And the cast is all the incredibly, ridiculously, mind-blowingly famous Tom Cruise, Superman himself, Henry Cavill, Ving Rhames, the absolutely hilarious Simon Pegg, the absolutely ridiculously stunning Rebecca Ferguson, and Sean Harris. Mission Impossible Fallout is the sixth film in the Mission Impossible franchise. Man alive, did Tom Cruise not hold back in any sense of the word for this movie. At all. Oh my gosh. Every stunt in this movie is completely practical. He spent months and months perfecting this movie to the point where he even got his helicopter license to be able to literally do the things he does in this movie in the incredibly stunning New Zealand. And it was just, man, did it pay off. Oh my gosh. This movie has literally impeccable action sequences to the point where you're literally watching it and it's like how is it even possible that you can do that? And with literally movie magic these days, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh my gosh, it's just so incredibly full on at you, the pacing of the movie, but it's action scene after action scene after action scene. Like, it literally does not slow down at all. Something I really wanted to share with you guys, and I thought this was a really interesting fact that Tom Cruise promoted and spoke to Jimmy Fallon about on the Jimmy Fallon show, is that Tom Cruise actually watches a movie every single day, and so do I. That's literally how incredibly passionate Tom Cruise is about his movies, and it's same as me. When I found that out, there was a warmth in me that went, "Oh man, that's so awesome!" Like, he's literally that passionate about making movies that he literally watches them every single day because, that's what filmmakers do. You live and breathe your passion. A really interesting fun fact about this movie, guys, is that Henry Cavill was actually filming Mission Impossible and the reshoots of Justice League at the same time. Now, this caused a massive kerfuffle between Paramount Studios and Warner Brothers Studios, as Paramount Studios, because of the signed agreement that Henry Cavill did with Paramount Studios to film Mission Impossible Fallout, he wasn't allowed to shave his mustache. Now, this was crazy because he had to go back and do reshoots, which Henry Cavill wasn't expecting to do because he thought that they'd completely wrapped, which is all movies do reshoots. That's not uncommon. But Henry Cavill wasn't expecting to do any more to do with Justice League except for the promotional side of it. So it cost a ridiculous amount of money to fly Henry Cavill back from where he was shooting Mission Impossible back to wherever the reshoots were taken for Warner Brothers Justice League. Now, the unfortunate thing about that is, because Henry Cavill wasn't allowed to shave his mustache, this cost them a ridiculous amount of money in CGI. Holy moly, this just really set them on the back foot. And unfortunately, the opening sequence of Justice League is Henry Cavill as Superman, and one day I'll do that review, as Superman, and it just, to me, it was I didn't think it was the worst thing ever. Like, I thought it was pretty good, but you could tell there was something really messed up about his facial features, especially with someone as attractive as Henry Cavill. And it's a really good segue, because speaking of attractiveness, Henry Cavill actually had to grow a mustache so that he wouldn't outshine Tom Cruise, because he was that attractive on set. That's hilarious. That's kind of sad, but hilarious at the same time. He's like, okay, thanks, I guess, sort of. This is a really fun fact about Henry Cavill. When he was actually on set of filming Mission Impossible Fallout, he walked past his chair, and all he knew that his last, I think it was his first or last name was name in the movie was August Walker, and I can't remember if it was his first name or last name. I can't remember. I think it was August, and he didn't realize that his last name was Walker. He didn't realize he was actually the villain of the movie, and so he walked past, and then he saw the back of his chair, and it said August Walker, and he's like, "Oh, hey, wait, that's me." And so he actually found out on the set of Mission Impossible that Fallout that he was actually the villain of the movie, which is I thought that was just crazy. So this is actually the first Mission Impossible movie ever to have a swear word. And unfortunately, this came from Henry Cavill. So he literally drops the F-bomb in this movie. None of the franchise at all. And this is, I believe this is what gave it the MA15 plus rating, because he swears in this movie. But when you see the line in the movie, you'll actually understand it's kind of, it's not necessary, but you'll see what I mean when you see, if you haven't already seen Mission Impossible Fallout. It kind of was one of those lines like, yeah, okay, he was just really, really angry at the time, and he was really trying to get his point across. But yeah, this is the first movie ever to have a swear word, in the Mission Impossible franchise. So I'm going on and on about Henry Cavill and Mission Impossible because he just blows my mind, and he, in my opinion, is Superman, and he's one of the most incredible actors on the planet. And one day I'd love to meet him in person. I hope he goes to like a Comic-Con or something like that, which I just do my head in. Bah, that'd be incredible. So as they were filming, he kind of did something to ad lib, if you want to call it, but physically ad lib, and he actually reloaded his guns in a scene just to sort of create a bit more of a wow factor in the scene. And then he did a take again, and he didn't do it. And Christopher McQuarrie at the end of the scene goes, cut, wait. Where's that thing? And Henry Cavill's like, what thing? He's like, the gun thing. What? You didn't do it again. He's like, oh, I didn't know if you guys wanted me to do it. He's like, dude, that was awesome. And so they obviously made him do it again. And now that's kind of his thing when they were doing the press tour for Mission Impossible Fallout. Henry Cavill was asked several times, do the gun thing. And so he became known for the gun thing. When I first saw this movie, I was blown away by how they did the face burn scene. And when you see the movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I loved that effect. It was so simple, so practical, and there was just a little tiny bit of makeup with a bit of CGI, and they made it look like he was in a ridiculous amount of pain. Now, unfortunately, what happens to Henry Cavill, I was a little bit annoyed about, because you'll see why, but yeah, I was kind of hoping that they wouldn't do that to his character and continue with the franchise. But anyway, that's what some actors do, and that's sometimes what happens to the villain. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this movie review. I just seriously enjoyed doing it. I really hope you guys just go out and check this movie out if you haven't already, because this is so brilliant. Oh my gosh, Mission Impossible Fallout. High intensity action, high impacting, just one of the most incredible. Oh, that's what I was going to say also. I'm so glad I remember that. So they actually did such an incredible job with this movie, and it literally took off like wildfire. That Tom Cruise, and I don't know if it was Christopher McQuarrie, but Tom Cruise said in a tweet, I think it was, that they're actually going to do Mission Impossible 7 and 8, and they're going to film them back to back, which is incredible. After watching this movie, guys, you'll literally be asking yourselves, what are you going to do next? What are you going to do next? Because you've literally left this ginormous slate open, and it's almost like there's no room for anything else. This movie really is that action-packed. Guys, I'll leave you with one more piece of trivia. In the scene where Henry Cavill and Tom Cruise jump out of the back of the airplane, that scene took 3 perfect precision shots because they had a 3 minute window to be able to do it in. So they literally had to do it as accurate and as perfect as possible because Tom Cruise literally had to float, I guess you call it, into frame perfectly for the camera guy to get him in that shot and, not stuff the shot up. And that is literally how they got that shot. Guys, thank you so much for watching this movie review. I passionately enjoy this one. Oh, I'm so glad I rewatched it because it was one of the most greatest Mission Impossible films that they've ever done so far in the franchise. They just get better and better and better. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate that. And you know that I'll bring the latest and greatest movie reviews that I possibly can. And the next movie review for the next movie that I believe is coming out, that I'm seeing tomorrow night is actually Yesterday, which that a movie about the Beatles. So that looks really interesting. Guys, thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate it. And if you like it, please leave a like and let me know what you think about Mission Impossible Fallout and your thoughts on the movie. Take care. See you then. Bye.